Yeah, so what happens is if you put like on a cotton swab and you put like full daub of liquid soap, it will force that tick to retract from your skin,
Really?
making it easier to remove the entirety of the tick.
Oh,
That is so cool to know. Thank you for telling me that. Hi, I'm Ellen.
Hi, I'm Ely, and this is a podcast with two Asian American women.
Living, learning, and sharing about everyday life cross-generationally.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about something very close to home. Across cultures, families have their own traditional remedies. We've got to deal with the little doggy here. Passed down through generations, and from teas to oils to curious rituals. These practices often sit side by side with modern medicine. And so together we'll dive a little bit into how these home remedies compare with like evidence-based medical cures and the balance between honoring traditions and practicing medicine and the roles that this plays in the big world out there. So our guest today, which I'm so excited, one of my good friends, Lisa Chapman.
Welcome.
Welcome, Lisa.
We have been waiting for this day. So we are so excited to chat with you, and just thinking back to kind of cultural remedies as a kid, and also hearing your perspective as a nurse. We are just so excited to connect.
Right, yeah. So Lisa, just to give you a tiny little bit about her before she introduces herself, is a previous school nurse for a school board for 11 years. She was a school nurse, and she is also a mom.
Yay! That's a job in and of itself. So
Exactly.
you have like 3 jobs probably if you count the mom.
Yeah, and I'm a dog mom too, so that's
That's
important.
important. That's another exactly. It's a lot of roles as a woman, as a mother, and I've been again we've been looking forward to just hearing from you. So can you tell us a little bit more about you, Lisa?
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. My first podcast. My girls will now finally think I'm cool. Um, like Ellen and Ellie said, I am also, I've been a nurse and actually I've been a nurse almost 30 years. My background is in pediatric nursing, which is my love because I am on the petite side. So I always said, like, I didn't want to work with people that were bigger than me.
That's cute.
However, the last almost 10 years, about 8 years or so, I've been working with adults. And so more with the older population. So I am also a mom of 2 wonderful girls. One just got married in May. So proud of them, her and Emily and Jeremy. And our youngest daughter just started UF, and we're super proud of her. Go Gators! Exactly. Um, yeah, I'm really excited. As I said, I'm also proud to be a Filipina, of course, and love my roots. Full 100% Filipino. I can say I do every now and then get the other day somebody. It's very common. People think I'm Hispanic, which is very surprising to me. My eyes are slanted, so I don't know why I get that. But anyways, I love all people.
I love it. No, thank you so much for telling us about yourself, and tell us a little bit more about what it was like growing up for you.
Um, Probably maybe very similar to you all. I was very lucky. I have 2 sisters. They're younger than myself, and so we are very close. I feel, even though we live kind of a little bit far away. And of course, with our parents, we grew up in Miami. We had a pretty big Filipino community, which I'm so grateful for because some of them are my lifelong friends. As how I met Ellen is through one of my lifelong friends, and we may not see each other for like years and long periods of time, but when we get back together, it's such a good time and it's like being home. And as well as going into college, the Filipino Student Association was a big mark on my, young adulthood. And I still have lifelong friends from that as well, such as Ellen. So, which leads me here today.
That's great.
And how you met your husband.
Oh gosh, let's not forget that. Ellen, he's gonna like roll his eyes when he's
Don't
lifelong
forget.
friend. He's one of those lifelong friends.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Because you did meet him as a friend probably first. So he was included in
At
that.
one of those, parties. But let's not tell my youngest about that party. He and his flaming Dr. Peppers were pretty known back then, and y'all probably know about that. And so we are going to be married 30 years this April, next April.
Yay!
Yay.
Congratulations. So
Thank
wait,
you.
flaming Dr. Peppers. Does that mean some fun
It's a liquor concoction. I've actually never tried it. But I would remember seeing him at these parties. That the things that they do at those parties. And
We gotta be careful, Lisa.
exactly. I have to see, make sure who's watching.
Right.
But it's like I don't even know. Obviously, there's Dr. Pepper involved and some sort of strong liquor, and you light it, and there's a flame.
Oh, I didn't even know
that
that.
sounds fun.
Ellen, you don't remember that?
Interesting.
Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ellen. You were studying. I forgot.
She was in the library the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know Ellen.
That's right.
That's great, though. I love that you met your husband there. I guess FSA. That's awesome.
Actually, true story. He was a good family friend of Ellen and her family. And it's a very much of it's such a small world because I had met Ellen's dad, Uncle Ben, prior to even meeting my now husband. I was at that time, I thought I was a business major. I don't know what I was thinking. And at that time, Uncle Ben was working at UF, and I was doing a work study. And he was like one of the people that worked there, and he was kind of like a mentor to me. And it was not until after that did I really meet the entire family. So, it is, and honestly, I don't know if you're okay with me bringing this up, but my mom and Ellen's mom are very
Best
good
friends.
friends.
I mean, like,
They're like besties.
I mean, to the point where I'm like, where in the heck is mom? I'm checking on her. She disappeared. They both disappeared yesterday. They've disappeared.
And they will call me. Her mom will call me to ask me where my mom is.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
And vice versa.
That's adorable.
And then I get worried, like, where is my mom? Anyways, this is how tight our community, I feel, is, which is such a blessing in so many ways.
It really is. I feel like I grew up in a town where we didn't have as much of the culture. I mean, there was a little, but we were one of the few Asians in our town. So we didn't have that connection. And it wasn't until I went to UF is when I got to know people around my age and who looked similar to me. So it was neat to connect with, I don't know, you kind of feel at home in a sense, right?
Yeah.
People get the culture and they don't think you're weird bringing smelly food to the lunchroom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but speaking of which, kind of gearing into the lunchroom and the school nurse thing, I'm curious, we're curious too. Tell us about what it was like just kind of starting off as a school nurse and kind of if it changed between now and then too, because you started many years ago?
You're right. Our youngest was, she liked to go to the school nurse, I have to say. And so I had to nip that in the bud by going to see the school nurse. And that school nurse was then moving on to somewhere else in another career, which worked out for me. And it really worked out because our youngest then came, and it really afforded me the ability to be home with the kids. So that was probably one of my most favorite jobs because I was called Nurse Lisa. And so it's just such a comforting feeling. But I would see so many kids that were sick, or they need to go home, they weren't feeling well, or they were going through things at home and just needed some extra love and support. So that was probably one of my favorite parts of my nursing career so far.
Is there anything that, to kind of bring it a little bit, also tie it in culturally, did you see anything that is something from home, like a traditional or a cultural something that they do at home, and then they take it to you and say, well, Nurse Lisa, my mom said to do this, and you're like, roll your eyes going, no, they didn't do that.
I mean, there are some things like let's say there's like a skin infection. There's this myth that if you put like a coin, like a copper coin on it, that would resolve the skin issue, also called impetigo. I never tried that, but it's one of those home remedies that people would use. So I mean, obviously, I couldn't use like those type, and I don't know how many of those pennies are still around that are actually made of copper. I'm
No,
not
enough.
sure.
So enough of them actually went to you and you saw them with the pennies?
Well, no, but they would say that that's what their family would do at their house,
Oh,
or
Wow.
how
But
they would treat that.
interesting.
I've never heard that.
I haven't heard of that either. And I can be a little bit of a germaphobe. So my first thought is, was it washed? I mean, it's got to be everywhere, right? Like the germs on the the germs on the copper
Right.
dirtier
Exactly.
than the actual.
Exactly. And there's things like I dealt with ticks, believe it or not, because we are in a very not, I wouldn't say rural by any means, but we have lots of trees, lots of animals and stuff around. So in the playground, kids would come back with ticks, and so I had learned that ticks would come out of the skin if you would put like soap, like liquid
Really?
soap on like a swab or a tissue, and you put it like on top. Like I would see it in the weirdest of places,
No,
believe
no,
me.
no. So is that the truth? Because, I live by a forest.
Yes, it is
You know
true.
where I live, and we
Yes.
have ticks. So could I do that
Yeah, so what happens is if you put like on a cotton swab and you put like a little, like a full daub of liquid soap, you put it on top, it will force that tick to retract from your skin,
then?
and
Really?
making it easier to remove the entirety of the tick.
Oh,
That is so cool to know. Thank you. Tell me
yeah.
that.
Yes, I am excited because I've always been scared of getting bit by a tick. I don't know. I've never been bit by a tick.
Oh, girl, you've got to just come over and visit me at my
No,
house.
no.
And sometimes you don't even know it's on you, is the
You don't
thing.
know
So
it's
it
on
would
you.
be in like crevices, like I would see it in crevices of ears, like that you
What?
wouldn't know that it's there, or behind your ear, like in
Oh my
places.
gosh. I'm gonna like
Mhm.
plug my ears next time I go out to the forest or go out
I
walking.
mean,
But what else? What else? I mean,
Yes, that's so fun.
growing up, my parents fully believed in, the regular salt water and warm water, like rinses in your throat, right? I fully believe in that, and I would
you
use
mean
that.
like when you have a sore throat and it's
Correct.
warm
When
water?
you, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
When
My
you
mom tells
gargle
me
with
that all the time too.
It,
Also, when we have, I don't know what you call it, but
sores in your mouth,
singao. Singao. How do you say singao in?
inside your mouth,
Yeah.
or on the outside. Yeah, it's like a sore, like a cold sore, a canker
Like a
sore.
cold sore,
yeah.
canker sore. Yeah. And when you sing out, my mom is always like, did you rinse with, hot
Mhm.
water and salt?
That's very true. And my parents like to use vinegar in that as well. That is, I draw the line there.
No,
I
I
mean,
never heard of
I,
vinegar.
I love some suka, but not like that.
Yeah. Well, it's neat because I think we've all used that. My family definitely told me to gargle when I have a sore throat, and
Mhm.
yours too. So I think I think that's like a more Asian thing,
Pretty
right?
I think it may
Or
even be cross cultural. I
okay.
don't know, but I've
Okay.
heard it, and I would use it in the school clinic too, because it's salt and it's warm water. It's not anything like over the counter type of medicine that you're dispensing.
Yes. Yes.
So there at Ely, because you all know I love my dramas, my Asian dramas, right? Every time I watch a Chinese drama, they and then and Lisa, you're now the medical, to tell us, they always say do not drink cold water, always drink either lukewarm, like regular lukewarm water, just not cold, not
Mhm.
ice.
Yes.
Why? And
So
like what is
have you had any experience with this, Lisa?
I actually have heard a little bit about that. Oh, I think it has to do with the way you metabolize it, is what my understanding is.
Yeah.
It's actually not good for you to have, is my understanding. Like, and as Americans, we're so used to having things on ice, whereas
Yes.
Europeans don't really use, ice as much, right? Or at
Exa
all.
exactly, yeah, if you go to Taiwan at any point, you won't really see a lot of ice in cups. I mean, even beer, I remember being poured beer and it's just like regular beer and it's not that cold, it's just kind of
Right.
lukewarm. And
Oh,
and so I think it's about the cold and the warm, like things in your body too, right? Like you're not supposed to have those things because your body's at a certain
So
temperature.
is this got something to do with, because they don't do it in my Korean dramas, or I don't ever see it, but it's very predominant in my Chinese dramas.
Yes.
hmm.
And so I'm wondering, if does it have something to do with the yin and yang, the balance of the body? You know what I'm talking about? I
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I
don't know about that. I just heard that it has something to do with like metabolism, but whether or not that's correct or not, I don't know either.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wish was the expert, but I don't know as much, but I've heard there's certain even vegetables like you're not supposed to eat certain vegetables if they're considered a cold vegetable versus a warm vegetable which warms your body. So like ginger I know is something that's supposed to warm your body. So when the menstrual cycle is here, the when anybody has a menstrual cycle, they're like, okay, drink
Drink
some
ginger
ginger
tea. Yeah.
tea. And it actually
That's
Really?
weird. We don't have it in this in the Philippines
it helps
that I know of.
so
That I know of.
Well, so my parents both use ginger. They love
Oh,
ginger
really?
and they will
Okay.
put it in their teas as more of a like anti-inflammatory type
Oh,
thing. And to,
okay.
when you have like a cold or some sort of virus.
yeah.
Yeah, I love ginger too, but I don't know about it in tea.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wouldn't put it in tea, but I would make it water, ginger, and a little
Um,
bit of like brown sugar sometimes, not
Okay.
always, but it's actually pretty good and it does warm and it's helped with like cramps and things like that before. So it's kind of that or just regular jasmine tea, just anything warm when it's that the menstrual
okay.
Gotcha.
cycle
Okay.
has helped tremendously because I used to have really bad cramps
Mm.
just I mean, not getting too much in detail, but just it's helped me so much. I
Maybe I
mean,
should tell my daughter that,
yeah, yeah.
because
So
I never tried it, and
You
I'm
know,
past the point of that. So
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm unfortunately as a nurse, I'm like, what medication do you want? I've got
Yeah,
ibuprofen.
yes.
Like I'm
Yeah.
all with the meds.
Well, it's interesting that balance, right? We talk about that balance between our cultural roots, right? What we hear, and then what other people tell us about home remedies versus versus you knowing you being a nurse. So you kind of hear both aspects of it. And we're curious too, and I'm curious with I love this traditional medicine, this natural medicine too.
Yeah.
And I know it's a balance too, right? What are your thoughts?
I think everything in moderation, right? That goes across the spectrum for anything, and I feel that's the same. My dad is very much into just using natural type
Yes.
supplements. Like I mean, and my dad's about to turn 85, so there's got to be some truth. Yes, he's doing very very well. There's got to be some truth to that. He takes a lot of supplements, natural type supplements. He believes in coconut water like 100%. Everything's
really,
got to be
coconut water? That's new.
coconut water. He drinks that, as well as he loves like stews with like a coconut base, right? Just and I do love coconut as well, but he swears by coconut turmeric. He's telling me the things I shouldn't be eating, the things like the things I'm about to eat. He tells me not to eat. So he probably, I mean, he definitely, his longevity has to do with, and my mom as well. It's the same as well.
That's so nice, though. It's neat for you to see too. I feel like as a nurse to see, yes, I know the Western medicine, but I also know a little bit about
The
the
cultural things
cultural.
that, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Is
think Eastern medicine is kind of important as well, and uh, just kind of taking a little bit here and a little bit there, not being so extreme. I guess is what my point is, right? Because like, is it great to take medicine all the time? I don't think so, right? That's not great for our liver. It's not great for our kidneys. So anything that we can use naturally is always good. I mean, I do have my bad vices like my Coke Zeros. So that's kind of difficult for me. My dad always like rolls his eyes when he sees me, but like I have to have like one bad habit, right? I don't smoke, I don't drink, so it's gonna be the Coke Zero.
Is there anything besides the Coke Zero that you use for for you is a true and true kind of, I don't know, cure? Like, so my dad, which is passed down to me, and I swear to you, I will put this on everything and anything, is
Tiger Balm.
the Vicks Vapor Rub.
Tiger Balm. The Tiger Balm. That's great. Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh my God.
Right here.
On everything.
Right.
On
That
everything.
is true.
Like pimples.
That's so cute.
Anything. Huh.
Everything. And like to the point where I'm like, my husband's like, you're not gonna put it there. I said, oh no, I put it there. It's gonna cure it.
That's hilarious.
I don't think we didn't know. And I mean, I used Tiger Balm not Tiger Balm, I'm sorry, Vicks growing up because my sisters and I all had asthma. So there was a lot of like using the vaporizer and like things on our chest. But nowadays, like really, we do use a vaporizer if kids are like having trouble like breathing and coughing a lot. But no, I can't think of like as far as a salve. No, I would say it's probably just the regular like saltwater rinses. Trying to do more coconut based stuff. I think I've learned a lot since my parents being closer to them. Like, okay, there's something to be said. Like as I'm aging, and through this period that being older, yeah, period of maturity. Like I think I like look upon them and go, okay, I need to take some of these things into consideration.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. It's interesting to see. I think for me growing up too it's kind of the opposite. It wasn't home remedies because my dad worked in the pharmaceutical industry for just a short period of time. And so he was antibiotics. If you have a cold, antibiotics. And I feel like that's probably why I may have had like acid reflux as an adult. I feel like it might have killed my lining. I don't know. So but now so growing up, I saw that aspect, everything cold anything's antibiotics. So I just, took antibiotics. So
you got to be a little careful with that though, because we are in a world where we deal with super infections now, where we throw medications and antibiotics at everything, so things are becoming resistant, and that's why we have things like MRSA, right? So if there's one thing now that I'm talking about it, is one thing that I do like to take is probiotics, because we need a good gut health, right?
Yes.
To maintain some balance. And what if I am on antibiotics for an illness, that I will always take a probiotic. And they say you should take it while you're on it, and also like 10 days after it, because you got to normalize your gut health, because you're eating up all that good bacteria.
That's so good.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me this stuff.
This is the things that I learn as I mature.
That's so interesting though, because you're right. Like now I'm on that aspect. I didn't know. I mean, I take some probiotics, but I didn't know you're supposed to take it with it. And then steroids those aren't the same, right? I mean,
No, steroids are more anti-inflammatories. If you have some sort of like I have asthma, and when I get really bad asthma, I get bronchitis. And so that means there's a lot of swelling going on. I'm usually wheezing, and so there's inflammation in my airway, so it makes it harder to breathe. So steroids help to like decrease that inflammation and help open things up. So that's very different than antibiotics. You sometimes need an antibiotic in conjunction with a steroid.
That's interesting.
Okay, because you're knocking out whatever that bacteria is, plus then you're decreasing that inflammation. Not always, but sometimes that you need them together.
So backing up, when you're antibiotic, probiotic, do you take probiotic at the same time as the antibiotic, or after you've been cured with an antibiotic?
Before and after.
Oh. Before, during, and after?
Well, I'm sorry. While you're on it, and then after. Because while you're on it, I don't know if you've noticed, sometimes if you're on antibiotic, sometimes it ends up in loose stools, right?
Yeah.
There goes all your your good bacteria from your gut.
Okay.
You got to replenish all that. Or you can be eating, there's something to say about eating things naturally as well. So yogurts are good as well. So I'll eat like the Activia with, my probiotic as well. I'm
Nice.
all about gut health.
Yogurt and stuff. Can you like,
Like
sometimes it's just so much easier for me to just pop a pill, but
a supplement.
Well, do we want to do that to our bodies long term? I mean, listen, I'm the first one to advocate for medications, but also we have to supplement that with natural things, such as like foods, right?
Yes.
They say that even if you take supplements, if you can get things naturally, then that's the best way for your body to absorb it.
Yeah.
Is naturally.
I love that because now growing up in that antibiotic world and then stepping outside of that, I have realized that just me personally, I think everybody is different, but me personally, I like seeking a natural source first. I mean, unless it's I need antibiotics, right?
Right.
Unless I truly need antibiotics. But
Right.
the acid reflux that I was talking about, I had acid reflux for so long and took medication for it. And it was causing me so much pain, like the
Oh,
medication
wow.
was. So I had heard about celery juice. And I don't know if you've heard about this, Lisa, but I thought, well, this was only 3 or 4 years ago. And I thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? It's celery juice, right? So
Right.
I tried it and at that point I had acid reflux and then they found 2 ulcers on my stomach and I think that was stress related. Yeah. So I revisited that whole piece, the stress piece, but I also started celery juice and my husband would juice for me every single day. And then 3 months into that, I got another endoscopy and then they checked it and they said, it doesn't look like the acid reflux is there. And my ulcers were completely gone. And
That's amazing.
this gastroenterologist was like, you don't even see scarring on the ulcers, which sometimes, most of the time you do. So
Right.
he was really shocked by what I told him. He asked me, well, what did you do? And I said, just celery juice. I know it sounds crazy.
Thank you for sharing that. I had no
Yes.
idea.
It's been life changing, but I mean, everybody's different and it's definitely, I think it's perspective. It's whatever you feel is right for your body. But for me, it worked so well that it got me onto a little bit more of the natural piece. If I can, then I will.
Right.
celery juice.
Celery juice.
Unfortunately, I don't like celery, so I've got
Maybe in a juice it would be good, Ellen.
Well, what?
Maybe in a juice it would be good.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know about to sell. I'm willing to try everything. Yeah, I tried that mooncake
yes.
yolk thing,
A mooncake. We'll tell you about it next time, Lisa.
Okay.
But Lisa, so some of these things that you practice at home, do you see it transferred to your daughters? Are they also practicing some of the things that you practice that maybe your parents passed on to you also?
Probably not. Because you know how it is, right? When parents recommend something, they do exactly what's opposite to that.
Yes.
Because for whatever reason, like I'll always say, did you gargle with warm salt water? No, I don't have time for that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's like, I think it's one of those things that you learn over time. Like, okay, I should have listened to my mother, right? Yeah. Which I find myself doing a lot, the last 30 years.
And I'm glad you said that because there are a lot of things that I didn't do when I was younger that now that I'm older, I'm doing. And I'm like, I remember when mom said that,
right? Yes. And that's when we should say, Mom, you were right. Because they will be like,
yeah,
wow.
but Lisa, you know how it is. We're never going to tell our moms, Mom, you're right.
You're right.
But I mean, both me and Lisa take care of our parents. So,
that's amazing.
Which is another good topic to bring up at one of your podcasts.
Yes, you're right. Caretaking is a big thing. You're right. I mean, it's a hot topic and I think it's an important topic, but it's interesting that our Mr. Cuddles is
wanting to cuddle,
like living up to his name for sure. Aww. Yeah, but it's interesting as kids, we think our parents are not the smartest thing. Like they know nothing. And then as we get older, we're like, oh my gosh, they were just this, they all of a sudden they turn from dumb to like ridiculously smart.
But what I have noticed is sometimes they'll incorporate doing things like subtly, and I'll go, "Oh, so they were listening. Okay, okay."
That's
We
good.
we have to give it to them in like micro doses, and then they kind of have to take it at their own, whenever they want to, at their own speed.
And it's
Yeah.
gonna be rewarding. I mean, you're gonna see it more since your daughter just got married, but as they start their own family and start practicing what you did, you're like, kind of, you know,
That is very true. That
right?
is very
So
true.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what, as a school nurse, as so many years being a nurse, is there a story that sticks out to you at all? Just whether it's fun,
Um,
a story or of experience that just sticks out.
I think one of the ones that were more prominent, that really kind of hit close to home was there was a student who had come to school with a fever, and he did not look like he was feeling well. And unfortunately, sometimes parents do not have the ability to always pick up their kids because they're working, or they have to take care of other kids, or whatever it is. Um, I sent him home, and unfortunately, the parent was not very happy with me because parents, they have lots of responsibilities as well. And so, this child was medicated and then was sent to school, which happens frequently. This is
Mm,
why we spread so many illnesses at school, right? Because kids come to school sick.
yeah.
And so, the next day he came back to school again. He was still sick.
Mm,
I had somebody listen to him in his chest, and I knew something did not sound right.
mm,
I had another parent, was like, I knew she had a higher degree. She's a nurse practitioner. I'm like, can you please? I'm just not. I want to make sure. Could you please listen? She did. She agreed. Something didn't sound right. I sent him home again.
mm,
After that time, it was a period of time. It was probably weeks. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. That parent came back to me and let me know. I think it might have been in a phone call because it was so long ago. She let me know she took him to the doctor, and they had done some testing because something was not right.
mm.
It essentially sounded like I could only hear one side of his chest. Like it sounded like um, he was breathing fine on one side, but on the other side there was like no like airflow going through. It turned out that they found a spot that had cancer. It was so big, and I ran into that mom later on, actually at the hospital, where we are an ambassador family for Children's Miracle Network for our local children's hospital at Shands. And she told me he underwent treatment and he was doing well. And she thanked me. And I think that was probably the most impactful thing that I can remember,
Wow.
is making that kind of difference. Like, I feel bad. I felt bad sending kids home,
Right.
because
But to be able to say, I caught that, I caught
right,
while it's, early.
exactly. And it was a life, something that could have been life threatening if it wasn't taken care of. And I saw him again later on. He was tall, he was growing, he was doing
Oh.
really well. So that's one of my feel good stories. I've had lots, there's been lots of sad stories that I've seen, but that one really stands out.
Oh, that's amazing. And it shows to you and what a difference you make and just
Aw.
that one little, I mean, it's a big thing, but just that one little thing of sending him home and feeling that's not right, like doing the right thing in those moments. Because you could have said, well, he's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's
You
a
could have just sent him home,
yeah, yeah, but you let them know, and it made a world of a difference. And so, thank you so much for just
Aw.
everything that you do, and just how you inspire us and others, and just help.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank you because how many times did my kids go, I'm going to Nurse Lisa, or I went to Nurse
Oh,
Lisa?
It's so
Hopefully,
funny.
hopefully they never cut class and just went to Nurse Lisa and pretended.
that's so
But
cute.
it's so funny because a lot of these students work at our local Publix, which is just around the corner from our houses, and they recognize me and will say, "Hey, aren't you the nurse that worked at my elementary school? I'm like, yes. And they would always say, I went to your clinic so many times. I was just trying to get out of class. And I'm like, guess what? You're not the only one, right?
That's
It's the
right,
way
right.
it is.
That must be kind of cute when you know that you're like, okay, there's really like there's nothing wrong with this, but you want to also take everything, seriously too.
Absolutely. I mean,
But
they sometimes just need a break. I mean, the school day can be so long. Sometimes their lunch periods are either so late in the day or incredibly early in the day. Sometimes they just need a break.
yeah,
And they just, sometimes just need, a place to just land for a few minutes and have like a few crackers or some water or whatever it may be.
yes, yes. And Nurse Lisa apparently
Yep.
too.
I loved it.
One last thing, if there's any advice, because nursing school is tough. I mean, it's not easy. So if there's anybody who's thinking about getting into the medical field, nursing school, nurse practitioner, I know my stepdaughter is going through nursing school right now too. Do you have any sort of advice? Because it's tough.
Absolutely. I would have it is very difficult getting to nursing school. It was difficult in my day. And my husband and I both went to nursing school. It's
Mm,
even that much harder now, no matter what kind of good grades you have. I would say persistence is key.
yeah,
And yes, nursing school is hard, but because it is hard because what you are about to do is going to be challenging and difficult. So they're trying to gear you up for when you become a nurse out in the real world.
got
Um,
it.
and and secondly, I would say, let's say you go through a program where you are able to test and get your registered nurse license. And if you and you're thinking about that next step about getting your bachelor's degree, I would always say, like, don't wait. Like, you're
Mhm.
gonna want to do that because you're gonna want to advance your career,
Yeah,
and not um, stay in a little place like that. That will give you and afford you more opportunities down the road, which is what I did. I went back to school. I got my bachelor's degree because I went to UF. And then I did go to nursing school, but I went to a nursing school where I was able to get my RN degree. So we did have our first daughter, and then I decided to go back to school to get my bachelor's degree in nursing because I knew that was going to be the wave of the future. They always said you're going to need to have your bachelor's. So at least make sure that you have that.
I love that. That's such great advice. And so we'll remember the soap, celery juice, salt water gargle, amongst many
Vicks.
things. Vicks, you've been so full of knowledge and just it's been such a pleasure speaking with you, connecting
Oh,
with you. Thank you
thank
so,
you.
Thank you,
yes,
Lisa.
thank you so
Is
much.
there, do you want to share, since you're very active with the Children's Miracle Network, how, tell the world a little bit
Yes.
about that?
Oh,
Or like
absolutely.
how to be active in it or how to join it.
Absolutely. We are so lucky that at the University of Florida, as well as Florida State University, they support our children's hospital. We're very lucky to have U of Health at Shands Children's Hospital. It has its own ER. As an ambassador family, we've been an ambassador family for 12 years, where we
Wow.
support our children's hospital to buy equipment, child life specialists, funding for art and for things for kids while they're in the hospital, as well as very important pieces of equipment that might help save children's lives. We fundraise for them every year, and it's our 12th year. Our daughter is now currently involved in Dance Marathon at UF, and look forward to seeing me post. We sell cookies, we sell baked goods just to support our hospital. Last year, they raised $1.3 million for the hospital at UF itself. Ellie's High School, our local high school, they raised $24,000. These are high school kids. They raised $24,000 for the hospital. So this year we will be doing that again. So thank you for letting me talk a little bit about that.
Yes, that's such a great cause. And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing it. We really, really appreciate it for the time. And we're kind of curious for everybody out there too. What are some home remedies that you might have or any sort of go-tos that you have when something comes up? Please feel free to
Yes,
share.
whether it's cultural, traditional, from home, wherever in the world you are, please
Yes.
share it with us. And
Okay.
um,
Well, Anything that I have always said, I think people have always heard, and it's not really a cultural remedy per se, other than I definitely believe in the warm saltwater rinses. But I always say, if you get a chance, instead of using hand sanitizer, if you have the ability to, you need to wash your hands with soap and water. It doesn't have to be antibacterial soap. It's just any sort of soap and water to create that friction. Especially we're in this fall time now where everybody is sick. The flu is going to be out. COVID, we have all these different strains of COVID, as far maybe even GI bugs, and especially with all the kids going back to school. And then with the holidays coming, we're all coming together, right? So we're
Yes.
spending a lot of time together inside. It might be too cold to go outside, and also get a little bit of sunshine and some exercise outside, even if it's just walking.
Yes, vitamin D. I'm so pale, so I try to get a little bit more.
So everybody,
Yes.
just remember those tips and that information. We will see you next time. Please don't forget to follow us on our other accounts. We are on Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. And we will see you next time.
See you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Nurse Lisa. Take care.